So my favourite religious holiday is done and dusted. Wrestlemania 31's in the books, and holy crap was that a great pay-per-view. Seriously man, could anyone have predicted that Wrestlemania 31 would have been as good as it was? Considering the build-up, would anybody have called that Wrestlemania 31 wouldn't just be good, but an all-time classic? If you can tell me that you predicted that shit, I'm gonna call you a liar, because there is no way anybody saw that coming. We had what might have been possibly one of the worst build-ups to a WrestleMania ever, and then got one of the best WrestleManias of all time. See, from the Royal Rumble onwards, the crowds turned on Roman Reigns like I've never seen a crowd turn on somebody. I don't like the reasoning, I don't get the reasoning, I think it's pretty fucking hypocritical to tell you the truth. But the moral of the story is Roman Reigns probably wasn't the best choice to put in the main event against Brock Lesnar. So what happens? They throw us a curveball. Either Roman was going to take the belt, or Brock was going to retain, right? Nope. We had Seth Rollins cash in, pin Roman, and win the belt. I think that was a good option, and I think everyone went home happy based on that one. I mean, yeah, a lot of people would have been stoked to see Brock retain, but then Seth Rollins is so beloved in himself that I really think that everybody went home happy with that one. Like I say, I don't get the Reigns hate, and I think people are just looking for shit to hate Reigns for these days, but yeah, I think it's Rollins' time more than it's Reigns, and we need a good heel, especially a good cowardly heel, just so long as he's not booked to be a completely ineffectual wuss as a champion, and someone who's there every week as opposed to Brock who's there from time to time. So yeah, Rollins, great idea. I dug it. And the main event aside, as we go further down the mid-card, man, seriously, that is starting to get some good development. WWE gets a lot of well-deserved assholes for having no idea how to build the mid-card. Ever since the Attitude, WWE's mid-card has been the parsley of the WWE meal. It has been the bit that Vince McMahon has pushed to the side, gone, nah, fuck it, and just chucked it away and really paid no attention to it. So lately the mid-card's been getting a lot of love, and WrestleMania pulled the trigger on a lot of potentially show-stealing mid-card feuds. From the ladder match, you had Daniel Bryan win the Intercontinental Gold. So that could build up to a feud between Daniel Bryan and Wade Barrett. You had Sheamus return on Raw, attack Bryan and Ziggler. So there's 4 guys in the IC title scene right there. Ziggler's got a bone to pick with Sheamus, Bryan's got a bone to pick with Sheamus, Barrett's got a bone to pick with Bryan, and there we go. All the makings of a good 4-way feud for the IC title. Then on the US title front, Super Cena handed Rusev his first defeat, which personally pissed me off because current modern day Cena pisses me off, and seeing him with the US title makes me flash back to when John Cena was actually good and watchable, and actually had a gimmick I could actually enjoy as an adult. But still, it gives a good rub to those mid-carders, because provided Cena doesn't break out the shovel, then, and yes, I know Triple H is associated with the whole shovel thing, but at least Triple H has been known to put people over, especially now. Provided mid-carders aren't fed to Cena and they're made to look good against Cena, it will elevate them so much. This is John Cena, this is WWE's golden boy holding the US belt. And whoever takes the belt off Cena, provided it's not done in such a way it makes the challenger look weak, then yeah, you've got the potential to give someone a good rub from the fact they've gone over John Cena. So, your 2 mid-card belts already have been elevated up, just by putting them on guys like Bryan and Cena and giving them a couple of people to feud with straight away. The tag title division, on the other hand, okay, so your opener, you had the whole tag team clusterfuck, and you had Cesaro and Kid retain, which is cool. I love Kid and Cesaro, man. Those guys are great. Those guys are so underutilized. And NXT worked wonders for Kid. He's such a believably smarmy little prick. Just from the look of him, you just want to go fucking like that. He's good at what he does. Same with Cesaro. Cesaro's just such a jerky jock He does it so well. But the tag division at the moment's pretty weak. Look at your tag teams. The Usos are kind of bland. They split up the Dust Brothers. Los Matadores shouldn't have even been in that match, considering they've been irrelevant for the better part of since they were repackaged. And hell, even when they were Primo and Epico, they were pretty much just fucking nothing. Primetime players reunited, but really haven't been used apart from on Superstars main event feuding with the Ascension, who've fallen really far in Vince's books from the looks of things. And then you've got New Day, who I don't think would have worked even in the 60s. Those New Day sucks chants are well deserved because that gimmick is terror-bad. Not faulting the performers because all three of them are individually great performers, but the gimmick is fucking terror-bad and should not be around in 2015. A fucking black gospel choir gimmick is just insulting. It was insulting 10 years ago, it was insulting 20 years ago, it's damn sure as hell insulting now. That said, on Raw you had the Lucha Dragons debut and Kalisto looked fucking good. That half Beyblade motherfucker looked great. So hopefully, even if it's just one tag team, the boost from the addition of Kalisto and having him team up with Sin Cara will give the tag division some sort of rub and give Kid and Cesaro someone good to feud with. I'm hoping someone actually starts giving a shit about the tag division again. And then there's Rollins and Orton, which, to be fair, I kind of didn't have a hell of a lot of interest in. Sure, it's the natural feud. Orton was starting to pick up a good face following, even as a member of the Authority. Rollins is getting the preferred heel. He is the sneaky chicken shit heel. But, yeah, it was a great match, don't get me wrong. Absolutely amazeballs match. Plus, Orton going over didn't hurt Rollins, as we know what happened at the end of the show. But, yeah. The feud as a whole, I wasn't a big fan of just because I'm not a big Orton guy. Rollins I like, but Orton I've never had much of an interest in. Even when he was doing the whole legend killer shtick and everyone was all, Orton's great, Orton's awesome, rah rah rah. Nah. Not a big Orton guy. But like I say, it was a good match, don't get me wrong. I'm just not an Orton guy at all. And man, I will not hear a negative word said about Sting Triple H. I loved everything about that match. The entrances, Sting's was kind of weird and Triple H's was sort of cheesy. And I'm not a big Terminator guy, but I thought Triple H's entrance was fucking cool, man. And the whole thing with Arnie with the Terminator eyes and shit, that was fucking mint as. And then you had the match itself. While not a 5-star technical classic, the 10-year-old in me marked the fuck out seeing DX, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg X-Pac, run in on Triple H's behalf, start beating down Sting, and then you had the NWO, Hogan, Hall, Nash, do the run in, fucking big brawl on the outside of the ring. You even had Hall, who's now healthy enough to take a bump, on a back body drop no less. And then, at the end of the match, Shawn Michaels, super kick to the face, Triple H with the sledgehammer, boom. And people are saying Triple H buried Sting. First off, look up what the word bury means because that sure as hell wasn't it. I think it made Sting look good even in defeat. It took Triple H plus 4 more guys to put Sting down, as well as a sledgehammer. He didn't beat him clean, it was a fuck ton of interference plus a weapon. So that was fine by me, man. I could not be happier. As for the women's match, it was good for what it was. I like Paige. I don't think AJ's that bad, although I'm not one of these guys on the internet that thinks AJ's the fucking hottest woman walking the face of the earth. Personally, I don't get, like, the whole mega internet boner over her. I mean, she's not bad looking, it's just I think there are hotter on the roster. And as for the Bella Twins, yeah, don't get me started on the fucking Bella Twins. I just have no time for the Bella Twins whatsoever, and it just fucks me off the fact that they're interjected into every single woman's feud. They're great obnoxious heels, and they're natural heat seekers, don't get me wrong, but it's just, as wrestlers go, no thank you. They are everything that pisses me off about this Total Divas thing. They're only being pushed to the forefront of TV because they're on Total Divas, and that's kind of an insult to the woman who actually bust their asses. NXT shows us what can happen when time and effort's put into the women's division and they take women seriously. And fucking that's why I love watching women's matches on NXT, and I really hope this whole give divas a chance thing works out, and I hope WWE does what they say they're going to do and start putting more emphasis on the women's division and promoting women's wrestling rather than promoting them as sideshows. That will be great. But as for the match itself, it wasn't bad, it wasn't anything offensive. It was so-so. It was good for what it was, but all in all it was pretty so-so. Taker Wyatt was pretty damn good for what it was. Sure, Taker's a broken down old man these days who can only wrestle one match a year, but when he wrestles that one match a year, you can be guaranteed you are getting something worth your money. And the thing is, the match didn't have the whole classic, what's the streak, Taker's gonna go over Wyatt and make him look shit. Because Brock was put over Taker last year, there was the doubt being sown even among the smarks, thinking, oh fuck, maybe they want to put Wyatt over Taker and this was Taker's last hurrah. So that was part of the hype for the match. And while Taker did go over at the end, Bray was put over well in defeat. The way they did it, Bray went toe-to-toe with Taker. So you generally book Bray. While not equal with Taker, he was able to put up a good fight. So while I don't necessarily know if Taker needed the victory, Bray still looked good, so I'm not too pissed off. It was fine for what it was. This year's WrestleMania was an all-time great. But thanks to the build-up and the general trend over recent years of odd-maniaed numbers being absolute shit bombs, not a lot of people saw it coming. And if you don't believe me, look at it this way. Mania 24 was a classic. 25 was classically terrible. 26 wasn't bad. 27 was very bad. 28 was alright. 29 was horrendous. 30 was an all-time classic, and 31 broke that trend by being an all-time classic in itself. Hopefully WWE can keep up the momentum for WrestleMania 32 and make that an all-time classic as well. 31 has gotten a lot of praise and it's absolutely well deserved for not only the loose ends it's tied up, but for all the paths it started for mid-card and main event feuds. That was my little disjointed rant on WrestleMania 31. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Damien Skyfire. Till next time.